After Barcelona's slight victory over PSV 2-1 in the Champions League, they return this time around in La Liga to face off against Villarreal. This will not be an easy game since Barcelona are packed with injuries, and this will certainly test out Valverde's knowledge of the squad, and certainly there are some many more talking points that we need to mention in this video. If by any means you're interested in cheap, reliable footballing kits, be sure to check out Antigua. Links are going to be in the description down below. They provide worldwide coverage, which is one of the best things I can recommend about them, as well as secure payment options to ensure you get the best service possible. You get the deal, you know the drill, but now let's get right into it. What's going on, guys? ¿Cómo están? BugaLuis here, welcome back to another video here on the channel. And I'm sorry guys that you're not seeing my face on the screen right now, and that is because I'm feeling really sick. I don't know if I got a fever, a headache or something, but I just cannot really be bothered to set up the camera, put the light on and all of that, because that could really be a complete headache. So I think this is the best way for me to deliver in this condition, so well, let's get started. So just like we always do, we're going to start off by taking a look at how both two teams entered this game. So in the case of Barcelona, we already know that we've not been doing so great. Of only our last 5 matches, we've only been able to win 2 of them. And that was away against Rayo Vallecano with a stupid comeback, and then against PSV in the Champions League. We've drawn against Atletico Madrid, we've lost against Real Betis at home, and then we've drawn against Inter in the Champions League as well. So to be honest with you, our form has not been good out of late. And taking into account all the injuries, we are certainly not in a good position. So what can Barcelona do to get a win in this game? Well, to be honest with you, I feel that this should be an opportunity for us to put kind of like stamp our ground, you know, because it's been a long time since Barcelona has gotten like a 3-0 win, a 2-0 win, something similar to that. And we should really be trying to aim for something like that, because when I do not normally say that results is what we need, but in situations like this, a result can really help to appease the fans and appease the media, because as soon as you don't have them in your side, you just get to go into a completely like uncontrollable tidal or like tornado of basically negativity, and that's what we want to avoid from Barcelona. But that is obviously simpler said than done, because in the case of Villarreal, they are in the lower half of La Liga table, and we know that they have nothing to lose. It doesn't matter if they are in a relegation battle or not, they always come to the Camp Nou thinking that they're going to lose this game, so they really, like I said, don't have nothing else to lose. We must be very careful with this. They already played in the Europa League against Rangers, and what they did in these previous 2 matches against Rangers and against Real Betis at home, what Villarreal did was kind of like not put a first team and not put a second team. What they actually tried to do was kind of like a half-half, trying to put like hybrid teams here and there between the first and the second team, not putting their strongest 11 and not also putting their weakest 11, to try and kind of like combine players to see, and probably thinking about this game, I'm not too sure, but probably just trying to keep a continuity in the squad and keep them from, you know, staggering, similar to what Barcelona are having right now. And in that, I think that they have some important players that can just come into this game and are fresh, and that can be worrying. That can be really worrying. So that actually leads me perfectly into our second part of the video, which are the predicted lineups. So just to go smoothly in, I'm going to start off with the lineup of Villarreal. So in the goalkeeper position, I think they're going to go with Sergio Asenjo. For the right, Mario Gaspar, then Ramiro Funes Mori and Victor Ruiz as the 2 main center back pairing. Then they're going to go with Alfonso Pedraza, and their midfield is going to be lined up kind of like a diamond. They'll go with Santiago Cáceres at the number 5 position. There we go, Manu Trigueros for the right, and then Santi Cazorla for the left. But remember that it's not exactly a wide team. It's actually kind of like a narrow 4-1-2-1-2. The number 10 is going to go to Pablo Fornals, el player which I believe Barcelona should be looking into. If we don't get De Jong, if we don't get Rabiot, this could be a guy that could actually work in this midfield. And then up top, I think they're going to go with Toko Nkambi, and then at the other side of the striker, they're going to go with Gerard Moreno. In the case of Barcelona, it's a little bit more difficult to actually determine which players are going to start. The very first thing that I want to mention is that for me, Coutinho should be going in the midfield. Coutinho can give us a lot more in terms of progressing the ball and certainly trying to extend or kind of like expand the team of Villarreal, because Coutinho could be one of the best players with the ball at his feet. And certainly if we want to get past that very, very narrow team, we need someone that's going to be able to be very good on the one-on-ones in that midfield. And there are only two players for me that can really do that in this team. Obviously Messi, but taking into account that he's going to be most probably playing in the false line position, we got Coutinho or Denis Suarez that could be doing something similar to that. So I'm gonna go right away with Marc-André Ter Stegen in goal. For the right, Nelson Semedo with Gerard Piqué and Clement Lenglet in the center back positions. For the left, Jordi Alba, and then in the middle of the park, like I already said, I'm gonna go with a 4-3-3. I'm gonna have Sergio Busquets alongside Arturo Vidal, Coutinho, and the midfield position, and then a false line, Messi for the right, Malcolm, and then for the left, Ousmane Dembele. Although this is what the formation I would put in, I think Valverde is going to keep Coutinho in the forward line and then put Rakitic in the middle of the park. We already know how stupid that pact he has with Rakitic, so he doesn't bench him basically, and he gets as much minutes as possible. So I really see this starting 11 not happening. Like I said already, I think Coutinho will be going in the forward line and Rakitic in the midfield, although I would prefer for Coutinho to play much better in the midfield and then Rakitic to be benched. So with that being said, what can Barcelona do to win this game? Well, I already hinted a little bit when we were talking about Coutinho in the predicted lineup section, and that is that Barcelona should try and exploit Villarreal's left and right hand flank as much as possible. What Villarreal is going to do is not exactly sit back, but say basically to Barcelona, okay, try, I dare you to go through the middle, you're never gonna break us down. They're gonna be a very solid team in the middle of the park because, like I said, they're gonna go with a narrow diamond, and that's actually gonna be bothering us a lot, because that's where Messi generally operates. Like, if Messi has an outstanding game, then we're gonna have no problem at all. For him to try and pickpocket out that space in the middle of the park and actually exploit it and then easy pass it to Dembele or Malcolm for the wing. So if he has an amazing game, then I don't think we will have much problem with it. However, I think that if they actually put someone like Santiago Cáceres, which is a very mobile DM, and actually put him on kind of like man-mark duty with Lionel Messi, then we're gonna need a lot more players to do so. The thing that I'm worried about Valverde is that, like I said, he's gonna go with Rakitic in the middle of the park, a player which doesn't necessarily help us vertically in a lot of sense. Someone like I said, Denis Suarez or Coutinho in the middle of the park can help us to try and get one midfielder, and he's gonna be out of that play completely. Just with a simple trickery, a simple dribble, something like that, a little more dribblers, that's what we need in the middle of the park for this game. That's why I encourage Valverde to put Coutinho in the midfield. Also, if we put Coutinho further forward, we're just going to be basically open to have one outlet for quick transitions, and that's going to be Ousmane Dembele, someone which is going to be able to do one-on-one and then open up space. We're only going to be having one of those players, when in reality, makes much more sense to, like I said, drop Coutinho to the midfield, take out Rakitic, and then put on further forward Malcolm. That would be the best option that Barcelona could do, but I just don't, like I said, I don't see Valverde doing it. Another thing that we could do is to push Arturo Vidal further forward, kind of like a number 10. But not your usual number 10, you know, the one, the creative midfielder, kind of like an Eriksen or De Bruyne. No. We're talking about a number 10 that's going to be able to pressure hard from the get-go. For instance, something that reminds me a lot to what I want to say is, remember Blaise Matuidi in the World Cup with France? Matuidi was playing kind of like a number 10, but going in on the other players, like going in at the DM of the other players. Something similar to what every other team does to Barcelona. This reminds me a lot to Luke de Jong when we were playing against PSV. Luke de Jong would actually position himself very next to Sergio Busquets. And I think that Arturo Vidal could do something very similar to Santiago Cáceres. He could be the guy just bullying that little guy and then allowing for Messi to gain that space, to get that freedom to do what he does best. And that's, like I said, look for the space and then what he does, pass the ball or dribble through it. He can do a lot of different stuff. So with Arturo Vidal, for me, that could be the main key to win this game. Leading you to my predictions, I'm gonna give two predictions, to be honest with you, because if Valverde does what I'm thinking, we could easily win this game like 3-0. But he's gonna start Rakitic, so if he starts Rakitic, it's gonna be a much harder game, and I could see a 1-0 win for Barcelona or a 1-1 draw, or basically just a single goal difference. So I'm gonna go with a 1-0 win for Barcelona if he starts Rakitic. If Rakitic is not in the pitch, I feel Barcelona could win 3-0. this is gonna be everything for today, guys. Leave me your predictions in the comment box down below and everything you think about this preview, as well as the things I missed out and obviously how you think Barcelona could win against Villarreal. See you in the next one. Take care. Ciao.